Okay, students, go over a few problems from this worksheet. Slope-intercept form is the focus here. Find the x and y intercepts of the graph of each. Now, you should remember that 4, 5, 6, and 7 are in what form? Standard form. You need to know the names of your forms. And you should know that's ax plus by equals c. A, b, and c are integers, are the conditions. And a is greater than 0. These are the conditions. And notice that is exactly what the case is. When I say plus by, the plus sign can be minus because b could be a negative, and then a positive times a negative is negative. But the a has to be positive if it's in true standard form. All of these are in true standard form. So the next question is what is, or why didn't that change? Okay, let's see if the, oh, there's the pen one right there. Okay, what are the two easiest points to plot in standard form? X and Y intercepts. Okay. So you should have had that question asked to you many a times by your Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 teachers. Okay. So X and Y intercepts. X intercept means where it crosses the x-axis, and the point where it crosses the x-axis, the y-coordinate is 0. So that means I just cover up the negative 3y with your fingers. Okay, so I'm just going to cross it out since you can't see me covering up. And I get 4x equals 12, so x equals 3. That's the x-intercept. Y-intercept, the x-coordinate is 0 on any point on the y-axis. So I'm just cover up the x. I'd cover up with my fingers, like I said, but you can't see me doing that on here. So I have negative 3y equals 12, so y equals negative 4. Look how quick and easy that was. I have 2 points. Remember, I only need 2 points to make a line. Okay. And so we did x and y intercepts. There's your answer. So you're going to do that for all of them there. All right. Next section, find the slope and the y-intercept. So if we want the slope and y-intercept, that means we're going to want to put it in slope-intercept form. So what is slope-intercept form? You should already know that big time from Algebra 1. Slope, intercept, int for intercept, form. Y equals mx plus b. And you should already know that m equals the slope. B equals the y-intercept. And x comma y is a point on the line. Point on the line. So we want the slope and the y-intercept. So with the m and the b. So once we solve it for y, we have m and b right there. Okay. So let's pick one of those. Let's say 11. Now, since I'm solving for y, I want to solve for to be positive. So therefore, since it's negative 2y, I want to go ahead and move that to the other side, make a positive 2y, and subtract this across. So I have 7x minus 9 equals 2y. That way I'm always dividing by a positive, and I won't have to switch the signs at the end. So y equals 7 halves x minus 9 halves. So what is the m? It's the coefficient of the x-coordinate. So the coefficient of the x-coordinate is 7 halves. So m equals 7 halves, and b equals 0, comma negative 9 halves. Remember, y-intercept is always 0 for the x-coordinate, and then whatever the b is right here, negative 9 halves. Do not forget the sign of the negative there, so negative 9 halves. I always will get some students, for whatever reason, ask, well, doesn't that say minus 9 halves? Minus is the same thing as negative. You should have known that. You should have been taught that over and over. Okay, because I can always write plus a negative. All right, write an equation in standard form. So we already know what standard form is from right up here. Ax plus by equals c. A, b, and c are integers, and a has to be greater than 0. Okay, so I need a standard form. What I'm going to start with is point slope form. So let's go ahead and write down point slope form. These are your 3 forms of lines now. You'll have seen all of them now in this worksheet. Point slope form. It's called point slope form because you have a point you're going to plug in there, and you have the slope you're going to plug in there. So it is y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1, where x sub 1 comma y sub 1 is your point, okay, and obviously m is your slope, same as slope intercept form. Okay, so all we're going to do is plug in, or substitute in is a technical word, but I often just say plug in, x sub 1 right into there, the x coordinate of the point into there, and the y coordinate right in there, and the m obviously right into the m. After you've done that, you're done unless you have to combine the signs to make one new sign, like the negative. If you have a negative y sub 1, then you have negative times negative is a positive, so you'd have y plus that, or same thing with the x. Okay, so let's pick one of these. So we have a point. Notice we have a point here, 2 points. It does not matter which point you pick. I'll just go ahead and pick this one. So that's my x sub 1, and that's my y sub 1 for this point. Obviously, what I need now is a slope. So I have 2 points. I can do slope. You should know slope equals change in y over change in x. Okay, change means subtraction. You go to the store. How do you get change? How do they figure your change back? They subtract what you gave them compared to what you owe. Subtraction of your y. So the long way of writing that from algebra 1, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Remember, I could switch that order, and it could be y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. The key is I go in the same direction. Okay, so, oops. Can I move this whole thing? Well, no, it's not going to. All right, I want to get rid of this because I'm going to put my arrows for the direction I'm going to calculate my slope in. So what I like to do, just so you know, I think this is the smartest way to do it, is I go ahead and I determine, okay, if I go this y direction minus this y direction, or that y coordinate minus that y coordinate, will that give me a positive answer? I want my numerator to be positive. So 1 minus negative 3 is a positive. So 1 minus negative 3, that means I'm going to go in the same direction. It's got to go in the same direction. Negative 3 minus a negative 1. 1 minus negative 3 is 4. And remember, that changes to a positive as well. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. There's my slope. So I have my slope. I'm going to go ahead and use that point. I'm going to now plug that into point slope form first. So y minus the y coordinate 1 equals m times the quantity x minus a minus 3 makes it a plus 3, or minus a negative 3, same thing. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 2 through there, negative 2x minus 6. Okay, now remember, I have to have it in the form of ax plus by equals c, and they're all integers, so I'm fine with that. And now a has to be positive. Well, what is a right now? I'll give you a chance to tell me. Think about it. A right now is this negative 2 right here. Is that positive? No, it's not. That means I'm going to move it to the other side, so it becomes positive. So I have 2x, and that's a plus 1y. You should know that. So plus y. That means I have to add the constant across. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. Now it is in standard form. So putting it in standard form takes the most work. Okay, you saw all this work that we did right here for that one problem. So standard form is the one that most students miss on the most because it takes the most work, which means it's the most chance for error. Okay, but you can obviously pause the video or rewind the video and watch this again, etc., to make sure you get it right. All right, other side now. Parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, parallel. There's a symbol for parallel, like two lowercase l's. And when you think parallel lines, you should be thinking same slope. I ask what two words for parallel lines, you tell me same slope. If I say perpendicular, you should be thinking that's 90 degrees. And the two words you should be thinking for perpendicular are negative reciprocal. Let's write that right. Negative reciprocal. Okay. Some people like to say opposite reciprocal. I just grew up, it's the same thing. Now, obviously, you have to remember from Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 what reciprocal means. A over B becomes, the reciprocal is B over A. Switch them. And now opposite or negative means put a negative with it. So that'd be the negative reciprocal. And these deal with the slope of it. Okay, when we're talking about parallel and perpendicular, we're talking about same slope or negative reciprocal, okay, on the slope. So it says write an equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b of the line that passes through the given point and is parallel to the equation. So parallel, same slope. So I need to find the slope of this equation right here. That means I solve for y to put in slope-intercept form. The y is already positive, so I'm going to leave that there and subtract the 2x across. So it becomes negative 2x plus 5. There's my slope. I want the same slope. So my parallel, there's my parallel symbol, M for parallel slope is negative 2. And then here's my point I'm going to use. So again, I'm going to start a write equation in slope-intercept form. I'm going to start with point slope form. So y minus 1, that's the y coordinate, equals m negative 2 times x minus the x coordinate, which is 3. Distribute that through there and add the 1 across. I'm going to do all that in one step. I have negative 2x, that's plus 6. I add that 1 across is plus 7. Now I have it in slope-intercept form. And that's my answer right there. Okay, so you're going to do that same thing for each of those problems. Down here, write an equation of slope-intercept form. The line that passes through the given point is perpendicular. Negative reciprocal. That's how you shorten it. NEG for negative, REC for reciprocal. And again, we're doing slope-intercept form again. Y equals mx plus b. So this time, I need to solve this for y. Again, that's negative, so I'm going to move it across, make it positive, and move that across there. So I have x minus 2 equals 6y. Last step, divided by 6 everywhere. And the key I'm talking about that I need is the slope. So here's my slope right there, 1/6. Okay, now I want the perpendicular slope. Remember, that means negative reciprocal. So 1/6, the negative of that is negative, and the reciprocal of 1/6 is 6 over 1, or 6. 6 divided by 1 is 6. So the negative reciprocal slope I'm going to use is negative 6. Again, slope-intercept form, I mean point slope form to start with. Y minus the y coordinate equals m, negative 6 times x minus the x coordinate. And I'm going to just go ahead and do it all in one step. Distribute this negative 6 through there. It's negative 6x. I get plus 12 plus another 4 is plus 16. And now I'm in slope-intercept form. So you'll do that for all of those questions right here. Okay. So if you write decent size, you might want to do all this on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, and you have lines. Otherwise, you need to write small to get all that in there. All right, 15 minutes.